Actually, now we're live. Oops. Hey folks. So, you met up with Akiri, you have magic items, you set off from the Whisper Sanctuary rather than going back to Akiri's brother, who has been hollowed and at least partially brought back, save for the part of his soul he says is under lock and key in the Scorching Mountain. You realized you had very limited time remaining to make it to the slave auction, where Bref the Barbarian's sea brother was supposed to be appearing. You, therefore, hoisted your packs and set off once again into the wilderness to try and get to the bandit moot and the meeting of the Thief Kings before it is too late. Along the way, you are forced to cross into a region of dead and fossilizing trees, where there's also evidence of old ruins from empires long gone by. You came upon an Etin camp. These enormous two-headed giant beings were arguing over something in a language none of you could understand, though those of you who speak Dwarven, the Dwarven tongue, recognize the language as giant. They held some kind of strange two-headed icon, and used that in the battle, and seemed to be fighting over it when you arrived. But they put aside their differences, these giants, in the interests of trying to smash you. During the battle, one of the many heads seemed to speak common, and it shouted imprecations at you, and you also managed to pick out the name Clo-Vag. Clo-Vag, a name you have heard before as a target for the flying menagerie. You also learned several other things during that battle, but it was a very hard-fought one, and some of you were very nearly squashed into a pulp by their mighty spiked clubs and spears. However, you managed to win the day and slew one of the Ettins, sending the other two running. And our camera draws back in through the dead tree canopy, down to the blood-spattered battlefield, where you now stand, panting, over the empty camp. Take it away.
Everyone okay? Ow, but is everyone else okay?
I think this Eden's not doing too well. But
Well,
otherwise,
good.
I think we're all right.
Okay, good.
Do we... Dean, what time of day is it at this point?
It is now... It is getting close to dark at this point. You spent the day traveling. You believe you got in a pretty good day's travel for the most part. You could probably go There's probably another hour or so of daylight at this point.
Should we press on? We probably don't want to stay at the same place they did, because they might be getting reinforcements.
Yeah, I say we go on for another hour or so, or at least until it gets dark. Then we can make camp.
I think that's the best idea.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do we want to do a quick run over of the camp to see if they had any valuables, any supplies?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Who
I
is
want
heading up
to-
that investigation?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll come up and kind of look at the campfire, around the campfire, and see if I can see anything of interest.
A mouth-watering scent of meat is emanating from the cast iron skillet on top of the fire.
I would definitely not eat that meat.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not really concerned with the meat right now. Yeah, so I want to look around specifically at whatever this thing is.
That appears to be a giant-sized bedroll, foul with their unwashed body odor, that seems to be sewn together very crudely with rope from several medium-sized bedrolls.
Can I sort of carefully peek into it and just sort of look and make sure that there's nothing in it?
You're
Absolutely.
a braver person than I am.
Same.
Probably. This might be a dumb idea.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, poop.
Exactly.
Oh, poop. Okay. A 12.
You know that smell when someone hasn't bathed in a long time, or maybe their whole life? Maybe you don't know that smell. But, it starts to smell, a little bit like poop. That is the smell of this bedroll. However, your iron constitution manages to quash the that rises up from within you, and you will make your investigation roll without disadvantage.
Oh, nice. Guys, don't come anywhere near this bedroll. 15.
15, pretty solid. You pat it down, and you realize there is... Remember I said it had been crudely sewn together from several medium-sized bedrolls? There's something that is sewn into the lining, for lack of a better word, of the bedrolls. Like, slipped in between the normal-sized bedrolls. Several hard or lumpy things.
Okay.
Do you really want to find out what those are, though?
I mean, I've come this far.
Grab the lumps. Grab the lumps.
So yeah, I guess I want to sort of take out a dagger and kind of cut into it and see if I can't see what that is.
What dagger do you use?
I've got two. One of them's kind of important to me. I'm gonna use the one that's not important to me.
Okay. That was just something you picked up, like, at town, I think.
Right.
Okay. You cut open the bedroll. And waving away the clouds of stench Did we lose you, Equitas? Did you just sign out of Roll20?
He's
He's
completely
also not in
offline.
Discord.
Wow. Equitas is
The
wiped
sync
from
was
existence.
so
He vanished.
bad.
What are the rest of you doing while he signs back in?
Carrie's just kind of watching this go down.
Yeah,
Just like watching over his shoulder or something.
is the fire still burning?
It is, yes. There are hot embers upon which the big skillet, more like a deep saucepan with a lid, is some kind of meat is sizzling in there. It smells good.
Can I tell what kind of meat it is?
Not without a closer look.
I'm gonna go take a closer look.
Okay.
I feel like we
You-
should give it a proper burial.
You wrap your hand in something and pluck the lid off, and this steam wafts up. There are these black chunks of meat bobbing around in some kind of, in their own sauce or broth in there. And
Hey.
now that you're getting, hey, we got you back.
Yeah, my computer's still booting up. I'm on my iPad right now.
Windows update.
And no, I'm on my work Mac, and it just all of a sudden crashed on me and is booting up and
Oh,
taking its
no.
own sweet time. I'm gonna see if I can get Roll20 up on my Mac in the meantime, also.
Okay. Well, I just went to ask other people what they were investigating, so we'll get back to
Cool.
you in a second.
problem.
Breath. The smell, now that you're getting the full force of it, is less pleasant. It kind of has that very strong kind of meaty smell. There's a foulness to it. Some bloody chunks of meat in there.
I don't think we should eat this, you guys.
I had
I think-
absolutely no plans of doing so.
No,
Yeah, we should
definitely
probably
do
just-
not.
Yeah, let's just dump it out.
Who would be most likely to know Etten lore? Bella?
Bella,
Probably.
Bella, go ahead and make a history check. Actually, a nature check for me.
That's an 18.
Ettins, as with most primitive giant types, don't cook their food. Normally. These not only have a bedroll, there's also a giant backpack here, by the way, made of fire and are cooking, but the way they were dressed, or at least the female, the icon she was carrying, these things are not normal Etten behavior at all. Normally, they can't stand one another's company. Their own heads usually can't stand each other.
I'll say, well, according to my admittedly limited research, this probably isn't an Etten camp, but I still wouldn't eat that.
then what kind of camp is it?
I don't know. I just know that it probably isn't an Etten camp. They're not terribly social, and they're more into just eating things
I just want to
in
tell
their
you,
original
Bella.
state.
I just want to tell you, Bella, that you did see them stirring the pot when you came up.
Yeah, but it might have been
Okay, just letting you know.
found. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's possible that they're unusually civilized Ettins, but Right.
I mean, that was my first thought too.
Or it's not an end cap. I suppose that conclusion is equally valid, is it not?
I
Okay.
think so.
We'll see what the hard lumps are.
Okay, so Equitas, you're over here investigating the... Oh, you can't see Roll20 right now, can you? Are you still with us, Equitas? Did we lose
I
you?
am.
Okay.
No, I'm here. But yeah, you're right. I can't see. I'm trying to get it to come up. My
That's
computer's
okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well... There is a thing with a certain visual impact that I want you to see. So... Is anyone else doing any other investigations?
Is there
Can-
over by the log here
Yeah.
a pack?
That's a pack. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carrie was gonna take a look at it too.
There's a giant backpack.
Wanna help me, Beth? Or I can do it.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you're helming it, Akiri, you roll with advantage from Bref, assisting you.
Wait. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't have any negatives. And it's investigation?
It is.
Hey. What's it?
15. Solid. Okay. Inside, you find a number of odd or interesting objects. There are 2 orc-style helmets. You've seen them before. This style, with the reinforced large metal jaw piece that marks them as being from Iron Maw Camp.
Oh.
You also find an interesting looking rock
Ooh.
in a side pocket. It's kind of sparkly and pretty and slightly dirty.
Akiri wants it.
It's encrusted with dirt.
Akiri still wants it. It's sparkly.
It's actually pretty big for you, although it would be a pebble to the Etten. About the size of a fist, and it is a gray and black rock with flecks of green mica in it.
Yeah, Akiri wants that rock.
It's also interestingly kind of weathered, like maybe it was in a stream or something.
It was what?
It might have been from a riverbed.
Cool. Akiri is gonna pocket it.
And the third thing you find are some, what looks like some supplies. Mostly camping supplies. There are food rations. They look a little spoilt, like they've been left in the damp. And
Ew.
there's, the various things that you have in your own pack for camping. Replacement boots and utensils and, various little things that you require, a backpack mending kit. Things like that. But the really interesting thing about these supplies is that each rolled package of food or the sewing kit or the the utensils, they are all stamped with a particular mark, a sigil.
Okay.
Do we recognize it?
You definitely would recognize it as the Arkengard symbol. Shield and a lightning bolt.
Does the Arkengard employ Ettins? I highly doubt that.
I'm pretty sure not.
I wouldn't think so either, but these are definitely smarter ones, so it's not outside the realm of possibility that they would.
I don't think that the
I'm
Arkengard would
curious.
employ anybody who attacks people on sight. I hope they wouldn't.
I mean, they might be useful for something.
Maybe the Arkengard were the prey, not the predators.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I would see my way to the Arkengard employing some kinds of giants, but Ettins are not, as I said, particularly social creatures. I can't really imagine reasoning with them to the point of getting them to be employed by anybody.
True. But employment is kind of a form of bribery, if we're real honest.
I'm not sure that they're smart enough to know what bribes are.
That's fair.
So, meanwhile, Equitas, you have been carefully and gingerly pulling these things out from within the blankets.
Okay.
And the first thing you pull out is a clay tablet with strange markings kind of stamped into it. It's kind of it's actually like a shard of a tablet. It's a piece of clay, and it's rather oddly shaped. It's kind of broken in a triangle, and most of it is stamped with these markings that you look a little bit familiar and yet also quite strange. And in the middle of it is a hole that doesn't look broken, but intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And it is surrounded with these stamped markings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the markings look familiar, but not too familiar, if you will.
Yeah, the whole thing is about the size of a saucer. And this piece of clay, strangely heavy. It weighs 3 or 4 times what you would expect it to.
Didn't we find some sort of clay tablet not too long ago that had some markings on it?
I'm sure there was one in the desert catacomb.
Yeah. Okay, I thought we might have found something even after that. But maybe I'm thinking of something else.
You did.
Okay. Was it in the under the volcano?
I don't remember that, but I might just not remember it.
So much has happened. It's hard to keep it all track.
Yes.
Does it look like maybe this could have? I mean, this is just wild speculation, but does it? There's a hole in the middle of it. Does it look like maybe it was something? Could it be jewelry of some sort?
It's a little too large and heavy for jewelry. And the
Right.
hole
Okay.
doesn't. It's too big to be for a thread.
Okay. And you said it looks
about
like
yay
it's
big.
okay. And you said it looks like was broken from something larger.
Mm-hmm. Strange. Strange. You reach in again. And the second thing you pull out is smaller, but no less interesting. And it looks like this.
Oh, hey, those guys again.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Is it just a little medallion or whatever this is?
It is.
That's all it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. I want to show this to everybody and see if they, and just to let them know, hey, look.
Oh, is our rogue friend here?
Or a friend of the rogue. Wait, what?
I hope not.
I'm not sure Kiri knows about that. Now that I think about that, I think this is all new news to her.
And Equitas, there's a third thing in there, but it's the lumpy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not so hard as these two objects.
Definitely a turd.
But it was also sewn into the lining? Yeah, okay, I'll see what that is.
You reach in and you feel this leathery object. You pull it out. You hold it up. It's this weird scrap of leather. Turn it over in your hands. And then it hits you. It's a face.
Oh. Oh, gross.
It's a cured sheet of skin with something kind of like bits sewn together to kind of hold its shape.
Okay. I'm just going to set that, or probably drop it on the ground and say, that's a face. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Can I ask a seemingly random question?
Okay.
Does it have its ears?
That's a really good question. Let me check something. Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Odd. Well, chalk that up to yet another unusual body part we've found.
Why do we keep finding weird body parts everywhere? First the tongue, then that mouth. I know we found other weird things.
Yeah, this is getting pretty Cronenberg-esque. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I don't Yeah, I'm done with the weird stuff for now.
You don't want to take a closer look at it?
Not me, no. If somebody else wants to, they're welcome to.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll look at the face.
Okay. Bref, you go and you pick it up. And you hold up the strip of horrifying leather. Pretty sickening. You realize that on the inside, there's some writing.
Oh, I'm out then.
All right, can I make an investigation roll?
On the face?
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Investigate the fee.
22.
Nice.
I'm now
Wow.
really sure it has ears.
The writing is hard to make out. But you realize that it says, "A gift for Clovag from
From?
from I've got to check. From the Netheros."
Ugh.
I think we should keep this. I'm really sorry. I know I'm usually the one saying we shouldn't, but we should.
At least this one's not randomly talking on its own like that creepy tongue.
Not yet,
Yet.
it isn't.
That's exactly what I was saying. Yep.
Can the Curie take a quick look at it real quick, and try to
It's
determine
beyond
what the...
saving this person.
Obviously, but the Curie wants to know what species or what race it was. Species is the wrong word.
Well, the ears are important because it was an elf. Or half-elf. It is a little bit hard to tell. I guess I would let you make a medicine check to be certain.
Heck yeah, I can do that. $13.
You suspect half-elf.
Huh, this looks like it was a half-elf face. And she's like poking the ears.
That's disgusting.
You also think female.
Possibly female too?
Still disgusting.
Yeah, definitely. At least it's not like gory or anything. At least it's dried. If it wasn't dry, it would be so much more work.
I suppose that's true.
But anyways, out of game, remind me, who is the Netheros again?
They're the people who destroyed Crim City.
Yes, that's right, thank you. Oh hey, Shadir mentioned the Calamity League as well.
Crim did?
Sorry, Shadir, I think I said the wrong name. I was thinking correct. Yeah, Shadir mentioned the Netheros.
What did he say about that?
Not the Netheros, the Calamity League. He said he needed to warn them or something.
He said Shadir needed to warn them?
Something like that.
He also mentioned the Netheros.
Oh, he did? Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mentioned the Nethros too. Because, like, he said something about when he was in the mountain, being translator or whatever he was doing. He was talking about um, meeting them, or he knew the names of them, which was weird. I don't really know how to know them otherwise.
Of the Calamity League?
Yeah, and the Nethros. I still have no idea who the Calamity League is, but I do know they were mentioned.
They are my brother's character whose name has already slipped from my mind. You're welcome,
Calda.
James. Yes.
That's right.
They are interested in preserving artistic achievements before they are destroyed by a calamity. So, using a real world example, if a tsunami was headed towards Paris, they would be focused on securing the Louvre, not securing the population.
Huh. Bella, that sort of sounds like something that
That's
the
definitely in your wheelhouse.
bards, that those great bards might be interested in.
Yeah, I think they might be. We should hang on to it in case we run into the cute little redhead again. You know, the one, the stabby one.
Oh, Calda.
Yes, that one. I think that she might have had something to do with that.
Really? Sorry, I didn't get to talk to her very much. I was being swarmed.
Yeah, it was a busy time. No, she and I got to talk, and she mentioned something about it. Although I'm not sure I got all the details. I've been meaning to write back to my publisher and ask if he knows anything about it.
Okay.
So, do we think this face is a member of the Calamity League?
That
Or
would be
it's
my
someone.
guess.
Or my bet. Or maybe it's like someone that the that pissed the Netheros off and Clovag. So the Netheros were just like, hey, we're getting in your good graces. Let's kill this dude for you. What's really creepy is that they like didn't send his entire head, it's just his cured face.
I mean, maybe this person has been dead for a while.
I mean,
You know
I
what?
don't think they're cured. They look pretty bad.
Can anybody detect magic?
Give me 3 seconds. I might be able to.
I just would be curious to know if the face was magic.
Not. Ask me in the morning.
Well, we're still going to have it because we're not throwing it away.
Exactly. Alright, shall anything else that we need to look at, look through?
Did we examine all the lumps?
I guess there's the broken clay thing. Do you think we should hold on to it? Is it important?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Someone.
I was thinking we probably do need to hold on to it. Yeah.
Does anyone know what language it is?
Make
Maybe.
a history check.
A what?
A history check.
I feel like I should not be the one doing this.
24.
Okay, here we go. Akiri has no idea.
Akiri doesn't think it's a language. It seems to be kind of artistic representations of things.
Yeah, she has no clue. Oh, what's this? What are these funny pictures?
Why can't I open up Equitas's hand of cards?
I don't know.
Because it plays them close to the chest.
Should I not have taken the mouth?
I don't have an image for this object, but you remember, Bella, the locket that Samson had and was later picked up by
That
Krim.
Krim had, yeah.
Oh,
And you also remember the iron flask that Cordy Sephi picked up in the first game session and never opened.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you don't remember the clay tablet that you picked up in the hidden treasure room in the lava shrine, the Ember Shrine.
See, I thought it was in there.
All of those have similar markings.
Interesting.
So it's Ab.
The tablet was half erased, much like the sword. Wiped clean. And the writing on this shard of clay is somehow clear, although broken off. It is indeed, and must be, Ebian script. Barely translated, according to Samson, by a scholar at Arkney. At least in part.
Well, I suppose we should take it back there.
Might
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, my thinking is all of this stuff, it seems like it was sewn into the bedroll for somebody to keep safe, so it's probably pretty important, at least to them. So it may be worth our time to hold on to all of this stuff that we find.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody else can have the face, but yeah.
Excuse me.
You know what, Akiri will hold on to the face. Because why not?
Why not exactly? No reason.
Does anyone have the clay tablet written on their character sheet?
I do not, but I'll take it if nobody else wants to take it. I took the Calamity League thing.
How heavy is it? Like, is it like fits in the palm of your hand, or is it like 5-10 pounds?
Well, I was asking about the thing in the treasure room. In the Ember Shrine.
Then no, I don't have that.
I did not write that down. I'm usually pretty good at writing that stuff down if I get it, and I don't have it.
Okay. Does anybody have the golden shield written down?
I don't remember who we gave that to.
Was that
Yeah,
Mavra?
I think we did give it to Mavra.
I suppose that might have been the session that you guys were on vacation.
Yeah,
Probably.
that sounds right.
So that's a reasonable. Although somebody else should write it down and then tell them. But that's what happens.
What is it?
It's a golden shield. The buckler with the Carsley coat of arms, right? The
Totally
burglar's
Might be in
something
cards.
else.
Oh, right.
Did you make a card for it, Max?
The golden shield? No. I do have one for the buckler.
I think I have the description of it. I'm getting a description as soon as I sign into my Dropbox. Gleaming golden shield, an eye etched in the middle with rays of sunlight etched coming from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the description I have.
Was it identified?
No. Or it never was. Not yet.
That might not be a bad idea to do tonight around the campfire.
Yeah, I can be on that.
Which reminds me, we should probably get going.
Is there nothing else? Do we want to make another sweep just to make sure we're not missing something?
Well, let's see. We got the bedroll. We got the pack. We got the fire. And here he's like pointing to each one.
What about that
think
big
we got-
stump?
Isn't that a tree? I think that's supposed to be a tree.
Did you hit copy?
Can I look around, see if it looks like any of the ground has been disturbed, like especially since there's snow everywhere. I assume this is snow, but to see if anything was perhaps recently buried.
Make a perception roll.
I see all.
There is... you got a natural 20. I'm not going to play the theme song. You want me to play the theme song right now?
That's okay. It was not a very dramatic moment.
It is... well, there's one thing you guys haven't searched, which is the body. The ground is somewhat broken up from the battle. And there's a signpost over here that you hadn't noticed yet.
That might be helpful.
But, no, there's no sign of anything being buried. And with a natural 20, I'll tell you a bit of extra info. Save you a bit of time. From here, with Bref's keen eyes, he can determine that the signpost says the more northerly path is marked well, the more southerly path is marked White Witch.
Isn't that where somebody recently went there, didn't they? Didn't we know White Witch came up? Maybe I'm
Several times.
Maybe it's not important.
Yeah, it's been mentioned a few times.
The more northerly path is marked Rainbow's End Abbey.
And I, of course, pass this along to the rest of the party.
Thank you.
There's a lot of religious buildings around here.
The path you have been coming along is marked Whisper Sanctuary.
Sweet.
I guess we're gonna go in the same direction that we've been going, towards where the bandit moot.
Yes, continuing to the
Northwest.
northwest.
Okay. That will take you along the road to the Abbey. As you pass the corpse of the Etten, you do notice that the body is marked. Not just with the battle wounds that you guys have inflicted, but also ritually scarred in some strange manner. Looks like words have been marked on his skin.
It probably says property of Clovag or something.
He would be that bitch.
Take inspiration, Bella.
Thank you.
No, Clovag definitely has all of his servants monogrammed.
Let me get my points.
DM, can I get a spelling on White Witch?
You certainly can. One sec.
Thank you.
Equitas, I want to make Paul's uncertainty over having heard White Witch being significant before an in-game uncertainty for Equitas.
Oh. Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
You definitely feel that you've heard it before in some
No, I know we have.
significant capacity.
Okay.
I think Caldo might have mentioned it. But I have no idea.
Something about White Witch. But it's not in the direction we're going, correct?
Well, the northwest path would definitely... that would be a more southerly path would be the White Witch one.
Right, okay.
So you guys are going to travel another hour or so until it really starts getting dark?
Yes.
Okay. Much longer than that, and you're going to start getting weary. You have had a battle today, as well as walked many miles. All right. When you guys finally... Actually, when you guys are at the end of that hour, you see up ahead, the silhouette of a building against the sky. Up on a mountainous ridge. There are some stony spires, mountains, really, that rise up out of the blighted forest here. And they cut a dramatic zigzag outline against the sky. And on the shoulder of one of them, the path that you are on winds kind of switchbacking up the mountain toward it. You can see this building outlined against the dusk sky. It is kind of a gothic, unnerving sight. The teeth of this broken building are kind of shattered. It looks like there was a basilica, in kind of a domed structure as part of the building, and there are many pillars that kind of stick up dark against the gray sky that are snapped off, and you can see like there are tiers of rooftops, some of which have fallen in or perhaps been burned at some point in the past. So you can definitely see what is most likely Rainbow's End Abbey up on the mountain there. Not too much further on. However, it is getting dark.
Do we think it's close enough that we could make our way up there within a reasonable period of time? It doesn't sound that close.
I don't know what you mean by reasonable necessarily. It would be dark, fully dark, by the time you got up there.
Maybe we should. We don't know what's going on in this place. We don't know if they're friendly. We don't know if they are even them anymore. Maybe we should stay out here and approach in the morning.
Well, I mean, I just thought perhaps it would be good to sleep there, but if we wouldn't even be able to make it there, then we can go in the morning. Is it on our way? I mean, we kind of have to hurry.
Akiri lives around here. Would she know anything of it?
Make a history check.
Well,
well, with a 12, you have heard of the old abbey. You never happened to inquire for more information, except that it used to be friendly to the Whisper Sanctuary and was an abbey dedicated to the Seeker.
Akiri will share that information with everyone. But it is abandoned now, right? That's mostly what I'm looking for.
Abandoned by whom?
Well, the original, nuns I'm assuming.
Yes.
Well, an abbey would normally be monks. But maybe
No, I thought abbeys were nuns, monasteries or monks. Or
convents
maybe abbeys
were
were
nuns.
both.
Abbey-
Redwall is an abbey, so it's both.
I thought it was a recording studio.
No, you're on the road to the. You're the recording. Okay. As you stamp down some of the crunchy dead grass in the blighted forest that surrounds these mountains and the abandoned abbey, and as you set up your camp, lights come on.
In the abbey itself?
Yes.
But we're relatively far away. I mean, we can't get there, and I mean, it's not like a few yards away or anything, right?
No, you can see the distant orange flickers.
Not so abandoned, it seems.
And we don't know who's up there. We need to keep a sharp watch tonight.
I'm proficient in religion. Do you think it's worth to see if I know something about the Seeker? Do we think?
Couldn't hurt.
Can I try that, DM?
Yes. And I also need to know if you guys are lighting your own fire.
Lighting a fire?
How about the lantern?
Lantern for sure.
Okay.
Oh, I hit persuasion instead of religion. I'm sorry. There's a religion.
Okay. This is just a general knowledge religion check on the Seeker.
Right, specifically about the Seeker. Yeah.
I
You
got
have
a 15, so I can
come across a shrine of the Seeker before and gained its blessings.
So I
It was
thought.
a block of obsidian, I believe, with footprints in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Seeker is the god of travel, music, and art. A popular god. An androgynous god. Depicted
Hell
as small, athletic, mundane. I don't know why I said that. Small, athletic. Usually not like, when I say mundane, I mean like the Seeker isn't necessarily non-magical, but it's not like about magical travel. If that makes any sense. Very colorful, as depicted in books on religion. The Seeker is always dressed in these vivid outfits. And actually an abbey to the Seeker, any kind of structure, permanent structure, is rather unusual. The Seeker is normally worshipped at shrines in the wilderness. And the gods' symbol, their symbol is footprints.
I'm gonna relay all of that to everybody.
I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is maybe the Calamity League has something to do with the Seeker. We find a medallion not that far from the Abbey.
Maybe this is where they found this is where they found all that medallion and the person that used to belong to the face.
And I just had a terrifying thought. This is where those Ettins came from.
Right.
Also possible.
I know we don't have much time, but maybe even on the way back or something, it might be worth it to check this place out.
I'm very interested, but we
Mhm.
don't have a lot of time. So I don't know if we can make it happen.
Right.
Okay. So you light the lantern. Are you guys lighting a fire in order to keep out the chill and cook your food?
It's so cold out. I really
Yeah.
think we should.
If it's that
Yeah.
cold, then we probably should and keep careful watches.
I agree.
Yep.
The dead and blackened branches and twigs all around. You gather up some bracken, they light up easily. And you soon have a little fire going to keep out the chill and bring you some cheer on this cold night.
Max, Halloween just ended. We don't need to start talking about. Oh, wait, no. The cheer happens at other times. Never mind. Well, we definitely need strong watches tonight because if we can see their lights, they can probably see ours.
Agreed.
Agree.
All right. So you set watches. Everyone roll perception checks as you go to sleep. Eat your hardtack, your dried fruit and meats. Save for Akiri. Your veggies.
Nice, Mavra.
Maverick gets a natural 20.
She sees everything. And suddenly it's harassed.
You keep watch. Is there anything you guys want to do in the night or as you're going to sleep?
Nothing unusual.
Yeah, aside from sleeping, I can't think of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you treat it as a very normal night. Who would be on watch in the 7th hour?
I think you cut out.
Really?
Be on watch when?
I heard you in the 7th hour.
7th hour.
Oh, okay. Cut out for me.
I'll volunteer as tribute. Sure.
Sure, same.
Alright. You're both on watch?
I guess we're doing only one-man watches right now, right? Never mind.
Probably
You're
a
down
good
to
idea.
5 people, so...
Yeah.
Okay. So... Aquitas, as you're on watch, you hear this sound off in the blighted forest. This crunching sound of some animal stepping on dry grass and twigs.
I'm gonna look real hard in its direction and see if I could make anything out.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. It's getting closer. And with your 19, you hear a muttered shit. crunch, crunch, crunch. Sounds like they crashed into something.
Okay. I'm going to carefully, quietly, sort of walk a little closer in the direction, but staying, around still in the circle of the lantern light.
Okay. You peer off into the darkness. Now, does your vision extend further than 60 feet?
My dark vision. Oh, whoops. Well, you can see in dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. So
yeah, but you
60
have
feet.
magical, special dark vision now.
Right. Let me put Devil's Sight. Normally in darkness, both magical and
120
to
feet.
120. Yeah.
Okay. So you're crunch, 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 crunch. And then another shit. Damn it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And then with your 120-foot dark vision, you can see further than most, although you are in the lantern's light. You can see a figure stumbling about in the woods, leaning on a staff. It's a little hard to make out at this distance and through all of the undergrowth, dead as it is. But you guess that it is a medium-sized humanoid figure with white hair.
Okay. I'm really tempted to just let it go. I mean, as long as they don't bother us, I don't think I want to bother it. But I'm very curious.
Curious?
Ha ha ha. Yeah, I think I better just shut up and just keep an eye on it.
Crunch, crunch. Using the stick to kind of whack their way through upon occasion. Seems to be heading straight at your light.
Straight at our light.
Crunch,
Okay.
crunch. Comes a little bit closer
right.
to within about 60 feet. Now, you're standing in the light.
Mm-hmm.
And the figure kind of pauses and peers and says, looks at you. Hello?
Hello. Well met. Is there any... where are you headed this evening? Such a late night.
Oh, hi. I am, the voice is feminine and aged. So sorry. I didn't mean to cause any alarm. I saw the light of your fire, and I've been a bit lost in the woods here. I wonder if I might, if an old lady might partake of your warmth this evening.
Ooh,
I realize it's only an hour or two until dawn, but considering that the place is full of giants, thought it best to travel at night.
yeah, that's probably... I don't know if that's a great idea or not, but come a little closer. Let me get a little better look at you if you don't mind.
All right.
But not too close.
Crunch, crunch. She comes closer, and she kind of waves that stick. And when she does, the blighted trees and leaves kind of bend out of her way a little bit and let her through.
Impressive.
And she comes crunching up to you. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You see it is an old elf woman dressed in this kind of well tailored outfit. Surprisingly, although perhaps not surprisingly, considering the power of that staff that she waved, she is not heavily dirty like you are, or bloodstained, or marked by twigs and leaves and, dirt. And she kind of brushes the white hair out of her eyes with a hand heavy with rings and bracelets. Well, you, oh, are your friends sleeping?
Yes, we're trying to get rest for the evening. I'm just
Oh, I
making
did not
sure
mean
that...
to wake your friends.
Well, I think that they're still asleep as of now.
Okay, good. I am glad to see that you are not alone. Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. You are keeping watch for them, yes?
I am.
Well,
And
it is
are
a
you...
pleasure to make your acquaintance, young tiefling.
yours as well. Can I ask your name?
You may ask. I suppose it would be only polite for me to introduce myself, considering that I have come upon you in this strange hour. You may call me Madame Lumiere.
Oh, nice to meet you, Madame Lumiere. I am Equitas.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Equitas. I will not ask your business. It is not polite in this strange place, but you are not a two-headed giant, and that makes you a friend in these parts.
Yeah, we've run into a couple of those two-headed giants ourselves. So I assume you're alone, is that correct?
I am alone and somewhat questioning my choices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably dangerous to travel out here by
Yes.
yourself.
Fortunately, I'm not cold.
Oh, how do you manage that?
Oh, with this, she touches her hairband. And some magical, glow kind of trails off of her fingers as she brushes her hair.
Right. While we're talking, I kind of want to look behind her and see if I notice if there's anybody else with her. If I could tell that I don't want to be jumped.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Okay. 18.
There doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Okay.
And also, the evidence of her passing through the woods is kind of closing up behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps something to do with her boots.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to come and share the fire? I mean, I know
Thank
that
you
you're...
for the invitation, young man. You are really a very polite young fellow. Come, I have some candied nuts for you.
Oh, that's...
She pulls out a
that-
bag. You will not regret this. I am certain of it.
Okay. We just ate, but, okay. I'll try one. And I'll take one.
You just ate at this hour?
Well, not too long ago.
Oh, sorry, I should keep my voice down. We elves, we only need to meditate a few hours.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So she kind of comes up to the fire and holds out her old wrinkly fingers, warms them, pulls out this leather bag, and hands you some nuts that are coated in they're candied nuts.
Yeah. Is she eating them also?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She pops one in her mouth and crunches
Okay.
on it.
Then I will too.
And she looks around.
Do you need any water? Are you thirsty? Are you alright? Do you need anything?
Oh, no. Thank you. My water skin never runs out. And she holds up this actually small flask
Oh.
and just dumps it into her mouth.
That is very neat. And you said it will refill itself?
Oh, yes. She narrows her eyes. You wouldn't harm an old lady on the road, would you?
Rarely ever.
She looks around. You don't look like bandits.
We're not bandits.
No offense.
No. None taken.
Oh,
You have to
good.
watch out for things like that.
Yes. Well, around here, I think any of us folk who are not Ettins need to look out for one another.
Yeah, that's why we are traveling together. Exactly.
Are your companions going to sleep much longer?
What time is it? You said this was the 7th watch?
Hour, but yes.
7th hour? Probably another hour or so.
Okay. Well. Bien. We will, you can introduce me.
Yeah, I'll be happy to.
Excellent.
Right. So, yeah. I don't want to ask your business, but
Well, young man, I don't mind telling you my business because I need your help a little bit.
is that right? Well,
Just a smidge. But you'll have to tell me your business.
we're on our way to help a friend of ours. And we it sounds like they may have gotten into some trouble with some slavers, and we're
Oh.
going to try to take care of that situation.
Slavery is...
Abhorrent.
That is a good word. Well, I am also seeking a friend. Perhaps you have seen her. She has been around these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am worried about her.
Well, we might have. We've run into quite a few people.
She was trying to rescue something from that abbey.
Oh.
Bad
We haven't.
place nowadays.
Is it? We were wondering about that, Evan. We knew it was an abbey to the shrieker, to the seeker. But when we thought it was abandoned, but yet it seems like there's a light came on as soon as we made our camp, which sort of concerned us.
Yes. The Ettins have taken up residence there.
Oh,
Called it.
Real glad we didn't go up and ask for a place to stay.
I think their chief is named Clovag.
Mm-hmm.
Something strange has overtaken them.
Strange. We
Yes.
kind of the ones that we ran into were acting a little strange. Also, what is the nature of the strangeness that you?
Well, the reason my friend was coming here was to find out more about it. Apparently their chief has taken on some kind of... Something is odd about them. Perhaps we will say more about it. For now, I think I would like to rest. But
Okay.
have you have not seen my friend?
I don't believe we've run into anybody, but what can you describe them?
A half-elf woman. She was coming up this way. She is a very capable woman, good at traveling alone, like myself. But unlike me, she was somewhat younger, and I fear for her safety. Her last message, pas bien, pas bien.
Did she have a face?
Excusez-moi?
Nothing. No, we haven't run into anybody else, but
She might have been wearing one of these, and she holds up a medallion with a jaws, a void within the center, and a storm marked around the edge, and writing, and a motto written on the outermost ring.
What does the motto say?
Exactly what it says on the medallion you have.
Right. Okay.
She holds it up. And then she didn't even see her take it out, but she kind of like slips it back into her sleeve.
Right. Out of character, Akiri took the face, right? She probably has it with her, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You know, we may... let's rest, because we may have some information. But
yes, we will
I think
talk to all of your friends when they awaken, no?
Yeah, I think that it'd be good to talk to the rest of us about this when everybody gets awake.
Très bien. And she leans back on her pack, which kind of jangles musically, like there's a lot more stuff in there.
What did she bring?
You know that scene in Sword in the Stone when Merlin packs?
Oh my gosh. He's like my favorite
Senile
character
old
in my
wizards,
favorite
man.
movie. Based on my favorite book, practically.
It's a great book.
Okay. Well. It is not long until the sun rises up and begins melting the frost on the blighted forest and the snows on the slopes of the rocky mountains that loom over you. And you all begin waking up. And there is quite an exclamation when Akiri emerges from her tent. Mon Dieu!
Madame Lumiere, what are you doing here?
What? Pardonnez-moi. What are you doing here? This is marvelous.
We're headed to help a friend
Oh.
out. What?
I feel so much safer. She turns to Equitas. If you are friends with Akiri, then you must be a very good boy.
I try
That's
to
something
be.
to ask
I am
Bella.
sorry for keeping this pointed at you under my under my shirt the whole night. She
Hey,
holds up
that's-
this wand decorated with skulls.
Sure. I don't blame you one bit.
Akira's gonna run up and hug her.
She wraps her jangly braceleted and ringed arms around you, and Akiri, you feel it feels very a familiar embrace, and you can actually smell les petites merveilles, merveilleuses, as you as she hugs you. You can smell the shop.
Madame Lumiere, what are you doing outside of Wildstone? What are you doing out here? It's like almost a week.
Well, Orpheus, a mouse, kind of pops out of her pocket in her shirt and like wiggles its nose at you, Akiri.
Akira's gonna very gently stroke the top of his head.
The mouse is quite pleased to see you. She says, I am looking for a friend of mine, your Equitas. The young man here was just explaining to me that one of you may have seen her in your travels. I have had to temporarily close the shop in order to find this friend of mine.
Yeah. It seems like. Okay.
Akira's looking very confused.
Well, good
She
morning, everyone. I thank you for letting me, Equitas here, let me share your fire last night. He's a little tongue-tied. I wonder if there's anyone here who maybe talks a little more easily, but in order to loosen your tongues, I have breakfast for you. And she reaches into she reaches into her backpack and she pulls out a handbag, pink with like pearls on it, and snaps it open and then starts pulling out handfuls of bacon.
Delicious.
That's a neat trick.
And for you, Akiri, I know you don't eat meat. Perhaps some bread. I have that rosemary bread that you like. She pulls that out of the handbag as well, an entire French loaf.
Oh, thank you. Dude, guys, this stuff is amazing.
So, Madame Lumiere, about your friend. I think we may know something about what happened. We came upon a group of Ettins, and I'm gonna take out the medallion that I found.
Oh, you are a member.
No, but this was found after we chased off the Ettins. They left this behind.
Impossible. She
Now Akiri
reaches
gets
out almost like she's going to touch it. And she takes her hand away and she says, That is impossible. When the one to whom it is given perishes, it should be destroyed. That is the enchantment.
Kiri's gonna stop.
Okay.
You say she met with a sad end?
Well, Akiri?
Kiri's like wide-eyed, like, oh.
And this might not be very pleasant, Madame Lumiere, but we found a face.
Let us talk no more of this until we have eaten our bacon.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably a good idea.
I eat the bacon.
You guys stoke the fire, cook up the food. She's also got, various other things to supplement. Also coming out of the small pink. It's really like, it's not a hand, it's like a coin purse. Out of which all of this stuff is emerging.
Does it seem like more stuff than should fit in it? Is she's taking out more than should?
The bag is
actually...
this big, and she pulled out.
Yeah.
An entire front.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Speaking of which, Akiri's gonna break it up and hand it to everyone.
Okay. So as you're all ingesting all of this delicious food, she is kind of looking around at you guys. I'm glad you all sleep. So many have had troubled dreams of us as of late.
Well, tonight was nice for once.
Good. I myself have had so many strange dreams. Orpheus has been a sad, sleepless mouse.
We've been having some strange dreams too. The last few months. I would love to be caught up on what the conversation has been up to this point.
Well, I approached your light. Oh, that's right. Equitas, she would have set off the lantern. When she
Oh yeah,
came
I
in.
guess so.
I saw your light. I was cold. I was traveling at night to avoid the gaze of the two-headed giants that are around here. Somewhat to my regret, because it was not a comfortable journey. But I saw your light. I came. I saw that you are not a two-headed giant. And I thought you might have seen my friend. So I came up. This young man was very polite, but very cautious. A good sentry. You should have no complaints, Akiri. He is a very trustworthy young man who has made sure that I was safe.
He is
Very, yes.
What
Good.
did you say to her?
He didn't just let me waltz in, but it can be hard to... Anyway, the point is, we have discussed that he said you may have heard something about my friend, and now you fear you have found both her medallion and part of her. This was... who's doing?
We're not sure.
Yeah, it was found among the possessions of the Ettins that we chased off. We actually killed one of them and chased off the rest. Akiri, do you want to show her what we found?
Kiri's gonna pull out the face.
Oh. This is very distressing. She says some words in Elvish. Who speaks Elvish?
Oh, I do.
You better.
Listen, stop gatekeeping me.
It's the short version of an Elvish funerary rite.
I suppose you can't possibly recognize whether this is your friend.
It's her.
But you said that the enchantment on the medallion would have destroyed it as soon as she died.
Something strange is going on here. I don't know. I don't understand. There is no way Klovac, even with the strange blessing of the Seeker, could have done this.
But we
Someone else must be involved. It does not make any sense.
We don't think it was Klovac who did it, or any of his Ettins.
Yeah.
Klovac is not a
We
his,
think-
my dear.
No, she's a
There?
woman.
Klovac is a they. Now.
Oh.
Now? Oh.
It's just a phase.
Perhaps, young man. But it seems to be they are touched by the Seeker.
We think a group that you probably know of. We think the Netheros might have had something to do with it.
Her eyes go wide. Speak not that name.
Fear of a name only increases fear of the thing itself. I don't believe that the word is all that terribly bad.
It is not a lack of fear that lets you speak it, but a lack of knowledge.
Then enlighten us, because no one will tell us anything.
What makes you think they are involved?
If you turn the face around, it says from the Netheros to Klovac.
Stop
Sorry.
touching it. One moment. She reaches into her pack. She pulls out a different set of gloves. She changes out her gloves. And casts Mage Hand from the gloves. And the face kind of floats up horrifically in the dawn light. And she brings it up close to herself, somewhat uncomfortably. She turns it around and reads the inscription that is kind of marked on the back of it. She says, What did you do? What did you do, Nestira? I knew that my friend had, like you, some knowledge of these people. I did not know that she had come into contact with them. This is terrible. This is the worst. And they have removed the enchantment from the medallion. That is terrible. That means they know of the League. Akiri, when I knew you, you were very young. I've watched you grow. You seem far more capable, blessed by your god.
Thank you.
I hope that dealing with things such as these have not scarred you.
Well, might be a little late for that. Have you heard what happened to Shadir?
No, I have not heard.
Okay, Kiri's gonna go into a real quick explanation of the past couple weeks for them. Starting with her dream about him in we were in Arkney, right? Crap, I don't remember any of the names
I
right
think
now.
so.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was the bigger one. Starting with that dream, and then traveling to the Skyweavers, then the Scarred Earth fight, rescuing her brother, um, and then going home, and then going to the Whispering. Basically, from her dream up until now.
Okay. While you are telling this series of stories, Madame Lumiere is paying close attention. But she pulls out a compass and she checks it. And it's pointing at the coin that Equitas picked up, the medallion. And she kind of confirms for herself that it is, in fact, mysterious. She says, "These are dark things. It is no accident that we found each other. You guys have done introductions at this point, right? You've all shared your names.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sure.
She says, go ahead.
Can I? And if this is not cool, that's fine. But I meant to cast a spell into my Rod of Devouring before I went to bed last night.
I did specifically ask if there was anything anyone wanted to do.
You're right. That's fine. That's fine.
If I skip over that and, it's like the next morning and, we all kind of forgot, then that's one thing. But, I did kind of
that's fair.
Give you the opportunity.
No, you're cool.
So she says, Bella.
Yes?
There is something about you. I think you may be related to someone special.
Yes. Yes, I think you're talking about my father.
Or perhaps it's you.
I'm pretty sure it isn't. My father, Eldan. If you're part of this league, you're probably very interested in him.
Who said I was part of any league?
Well, you seem to know an awful lot about that medallion. And since you seem to think that it's some sort of secret organization that I won't say it, but it's pretty basic inductive reasoning.
Well, one thing you cannot reason your way around. They know when their name is written down or spoken. And they know by whom, and they know where.
And are they generally against that?
What do you think?
They drowned Lagrana.
What's this?
Lagrana, the Dragonborn city. They were in charge of that. I wish Krim
I
was
did
here.
not know this was them. But it would make sense for the power of the Whisperer.
Yes, that's right. Something you might want to know about, probably should know about, is we had Krim, one of our friends. She was with our party for a little while. She was the possible sole survivor of the drowning of Lagrana, apparently.
Well, we know that. Well, yes, the possible sole survivor.
Probable. They seem pretty thorough.
Yeah,
This is a terrible thing.
I thought we met it. Yeah.
you're correct.
The League tried to rescue some from the city, but the one they most wished to rescue had already been taken by somebody else.
And that was the dancer. The great
Yes.
dancer.
That makes sense. Huh.
So when you... I met someone else who was part of your organization in this area not that long ago, and she said that you save like works of art. Why? I suppose you would be interested in saving the person, because in the case of dancing, it's more difficult to separate the person from their art, or is that in general?
The League wishes to save all such people capable of great art and objets d'art themselves. She admires her own rings for a moment.
So you are probably aware that something has been happening to them.
This is of concern. I do not know all things the League knows.
I see. Well, we know, for example, that there is a strange and convoluted murder plot against one of them. And I recently received a message that implies to me that not only is another in danger, but perhaps a third or fourth, I suppose, may have already been also taken, like the dancer.
Alarming. I must report this to the League, especially since you seem to think they are involved. Did you say... What did you say happened to your brother?
Well, he was hollowed. His...
Was this by the Hollow One?
Yes.
The Whisperer, the Hollow. She seems
Apparently-
thoughtful.
Apparently they needed him as a translator because he knows Primordial.
So, if that is true, then what of the Defiler and the one who kills on sight?
What do
I
you
have
know
no
about?
idea.
What do you know about them? We're wondering some of the same things. Seems like we might have disparate pieces of the same puzzle.
I know more than I want to. Is this knowledge you truly wish for?
Yes.
Remember, they know.
And don't say their names.
I
Or
have a
just reference them
feeling.
as them.
I have a feeling they probably know already.
The Whisperer is the Master of Water, a sorcerer. The Hollow One, a barbarian and a magic user as well, a master of earth. The Defiler, master of fire. The Kills on Sight, a rogue, I believe. A thief in the night, and a master of air.
Wait. Lucas, anyone?
Yep.
For sure.
What did you say that the water one was? The defile? No,
Whisperer, master of water, is a sorcerer.
the fire one. Then I'm sorry.
The Defiler.
Mass. And what was the class?
She says, I do not know. That one.
Does any of this sound familiar?
Of them all, I believe only the Whisperer is a woman. But as a group, they are known in secret by that name you used, and is written in places as secret as the back of a face. And if they are sending gifts to Clovag, they are far more important than I thought. Than anyone thought.
Okay, funny story. We're also kind of on a mission to capture Clovag and
Wow.
sell them to strays traveling menagerie.
Well, I would warn you away, but I know that is useless. Also,
You know us.
I would advise you, it is not them you need to fear, but the ones who sent these gifts.
Yeah.
Perhaps they wish to win Clovag over for some reason. For their following, perhaps.
I mean, we face off against Netton. I don't know why you wouldn't want one on your side.
Well, this group certainly likes to go after those who are easily manipulated. But it is surprising that they would allow anything about themselves to be discovered. I must report this to the League. The Calamity League will want to know. And I will tell them also, although it is possible they already know, of the warning you give, Bella and Doral.
Yes, I wish I had more information, but If you like, I can give you a copy of the message I received. I haven't finished decoding it yet, but maybe somebody in the League would know something about it. I would only
Certainly.
ask that if you did find something out, that you would tell me, because I have a vested interest in knowing exactly what it's all about.
Well, I do have an earpiece that lets me send a sending. So I can get in contact with you.
All right. I'll take out my desk and I'll make her a copy of the message that my father sent me.
Okay. She says, I don't know if I can make head or tail of this.
Well,
But
it took me a couple weeks.
there are many ciphers within the Calamity League, and don't tell anyone that I said I couldn't figure it out.
Your secret's safe with us.
I don't know who I'd even tell.
Good. There are many secrets being shared here. It is because of the trust I hold for you, Akiri.
Thank you.
Well, that is quite a lot. Heavy things are afoot. If there is danger, the Calamity League would never allow me to say this, Bella. For they only wish for great artists to create more great art. But I will say, those who watch the stars know whenever a great work is made by a great bard, whenever they make a new one, they can be found.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
So if your father needs to know that, then he needs to know, and it wasn't my decision. And she kind of folds her hands. May the muse forgive me. Oneiros. She feeds her mouse some seeds.
No, curious. I'm just wondering, why did you turn him into a mouse?
He became a mouse because he was so sad at all of the nightmares. I named him
Then why not have-
Oneiros, but he is named after that being.
Destruction.
Is it a dream?
What's this? What's the question?
What being? What being?
Oh, I suppose it is dream.
What are we talking about?
Nothing. Greek.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all Greek to me.
Shall we continue on? Sneakily past the Abbey.
Yeah.
Probably should.
Although I could probably pick her brain for hours, but yeah.
I don't know how much more I can tell you.
No, you've been very helpful. It's very, very good to make your acquaintance, Madame Lumiere. I hope we meet again.
May the muse protect you all. I was going to say that I would take the coin from you, but perhaps you should keep it. You can show it to those in the know for a safe house. Members of the League will ask you no questions because they are supposed to be destroyed.
But we already do have one.
Do we?
Oh?
Yeah, I'll pull mine out and show it to her.
You have one.
I'm not in the League.
She waves her gloves over it. The magic is still active within this one. You are not in the League. Well, you must have been given it.
Yes. You're not my first League member that I met. Recently, actually. I only found all of this out a couple weeks ago.
What?
Not even that.
Yeah, well, time seems to be moving at an extremely fast rate.
But yeah, I mean, if this belonged to your friend, maybe you should have it. I mean, especially if we already have the other one.
Well, if you already have one, perhaps I should take it.
It would probably be good for somebody who knows more about it to study it and see why why the enchantment seems not to have worked.
Were you told of its significance? Do you know what the symbols mean?
I mean, I can guess some, but not all of it, I'm sure.
Then I wish to impart this last piece of knowledge before I must hurry back to report. The void in the center is representative of the great unmaking. The jaws represent the great beast, most terrifying of all monsters. And the lightning, the storm, the rains. These are the three great calamities. That the League wishes to protect Objet d'Art and their creators from.
Interesting. These are all three different events.
These three dooms, they are known. They have come before, and they will come again. And the Calamity League seeks to protect and preserve in the face of them.
Do they have to come again?
I don't know, young man. Who am I to question the gods?
I mean, okay.
Well, we have different directions we must travel in. Be safe, and send me a sending, Akiri.
I will.
Good.
You stay safe too.
I will.
And if you know of any way to help Shadir, please.
The hollowing?
Yeah.
Of this I have no knowledge. but
Okay.
I will keep my ear out. My shop, my curio shop, Les Petites Merveilles. You are all welcome in Wildstone anytime. It is a safe house for the Calamity League. You can find any safe house by seeing the markings outside, similar to the one on your medallion. Adieu.
Bye. Thanks for the bacon.
You are very welcome, big man. And with that, she waves her stick. The dead trees and grasses bend apart and allow her a path onward. She
Gets along really well with trees.
And she takes her leave as mysteriously as she arrived. Only she takes the remains of her friend and the inactive medallion with her.
I think it's safe to say that bacon is most of what Bref got out of that conversation.
That was the important part.
Well, he did hear something about a storm.
Would that have been any? I mean, I imagine he saw lots of storms, but was there anything from his ship about, a capital S storm?
There was one particular storm that has appeared in Bref's memories as a pretty significant event. And that was quite a storm.
Is this something that you're just thinking about by yourself, Bref, or are you saying anything like this out loud?
Well, I'd probably keep this to myself.
Okay.
I don't think it was like an apocalyptic storm, but it was something that was important to me.
I suppose you probably clean up the remains of breakfast, kick out the fire, break down the tents, roll up the blankets, shake the frost off of them, and you are ready to go. I should update the calendar, as it is now the 17th of VXE.
We only have a couple days. Well, 6 days.
We gotta get going.
What do you do?
I say we keep going.
Yep. Assuming we are in 1314, we will continue to the northwest. And I'm expecting we'll hit desert. Desert we've actually been to before.
Is this where we found Kront?
No, but it's where we traveled.
Isn't
I
it though?
think first we traveled from 1113 to Taurine, and then from Taurine down to 1115. So we traveled through 1214. This will be our fourth time traveling through 1214.
I thought this is where we found. No, it's
You are
No, it's
currently in a blighted forest and seeking to pass beneath the abbey that lies looming overhead on the Rocky Mountains.
Well, we found him in the desert, so.
Who is going to jump in first?
I got one. I got one good. So as we're trying to sneak past the abbey, Akiri is going to use either survival or stealth. Your pick.
My pick.
Yeah. Or whatever you think would work better, because I'm not sure. To help everyone get around safely and quietly and carefully and with as little disturbance as possible.
All right, so my answer is you need to pick one of those. Safely,
If I can
quietly.
Pick? I'm going survival. To help show them where the best place to step is, where to hide, where the best that kind of thing.
Okay. So this is less of a stealth roll then, and more of a pass safely through the dead forest and through the mountains and circle around the abbey as possible.
Sure.
That will be somewhat difficult. Go ahead and make a survival roll. This is not easy terrain. That'll do it. Very nice.
Honestly, as long as I don't get a natural 1 or a 2, we're probably...
So Akiri kind of uses her knowledge of woodcraft and natural sensitivity to this blight to direct your path safely through this terrain. After some hours of traveling, you leave the monastery behind. It's out of sight in the mountains and the dead trees. And you begin, it's not completely there yet, but you begin to see the mountains sloping down. You're more in the foothills now. And you can see, you're still in the dead forest, but you can now see greenery again. And it's kind of a shock to your eyes. You almost didn't realize how weird everything looked. Dead, brown, gray. And your eyes see the green again of some evergreen trees and living trees that are bare of leaves in the winter. A much more normal forest as you make your way northwest. Akiri, you do get 1 temp HP automatically. Who's going to jump up next and help you guys travel safely?
And I guess after we pass the abbey, I'm going to switch places with Mavra, and I'm going to kind of focus on making sure I don't notice anybody following us.
Oh man, I miss. Tell your 8-year-old that my hat likes them. The sorry, what were you doing, Bref? I'm sorry.
I'm kind of taking up the rear of the group and keeping a extra sharp eye, hopefully, to make sure no one is following us from the Abbey.
Gotcha. All right, make a perception roll. Bref is got his head on a swivel, just keeping a close eye out behind you.
Well, not that close. So, 13.
That would normally be good enough. But this is particularly strange terrain to try and spot things in. You've got the thick mountain, you've got the dead forest, first of all, and then you've got the mountainous terrain. But you did specifically say, see if anyone was following you from the Abbey. I think that would lower the DC a little bit. Because it's a specific thing and not a general thing. So we are going to say that is a success. Congratulations. You get 1 temp HP. Go ahead and roll a D100 for me. $98. I'm sorry.
98.
Thank you. Yes, 98. Could you now roll a D57 for me?
$24.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling, the dead trees give way to living ones. It may be winter, a lot of the leaves have fallen, but there are here and there some evergreen trees as well. It is quite a different feeling, a lot less eerie, and you almost didn't realize it while you were there, but it was kind of wearing on you. You find that you can kind of relax. Your shoulders, untense. You find that the deadness and the blight behind you was stressing you out. And you can now relax and travel, and you make actually a much better distance in the latter part of the day than at the beginning. In the mountains and the dead trees. As you are as the day is starting to wind down, you are beginning to look in these somewhat more familiar woods, thick as they are. You're starting to look for a campsite. You hear a sound like yelling from the north. And then an explosion. There's a flash of fire. somewhat up to the north.
Should we check it out? Better question. How far away does it look?
Not far.
You guys want me to go take a quick peek?
Yeah, see if there's anyone who needs our help.
Yeah, be careful.
I will. And then she's gonna take off. In the direction of the explosion.
Okay, so you fly and do a quick scout. Go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Natural 20.
Wow. You gotta
That's our
send me.
third natural 20.
You gotta send me
On
your theme
perception,
song.
yeah, this is wonderful.
We see everything today.
There's a small crashed airship. It's like a dinghy.
Would Akiri have any idea what an airship is?
Well,
I mean, Stray has one, but
You
it's not
rolled
like
a
your
natural
typical
20.
airship.
so you can see that there is a small boat. I guess it's not really a dinghy. It's a small sailboat, essentially, that looks like a much smaller version of the traveling menagerie.
Gotcha.
And it is on fire, and it exploded. And there's someone running from the explosion. Through the woods.
Akiri's for the woods?
Through the woods.
Okay, Akiri's gonna land him. Hey, you... Sorry, land in front of them. Go, hey, you okay? You good?
This badly burnt, wild-eyed man has got this singed garb. He looks like a sailor. He looks like how Bref originally, when he originally met him, he was dressed in his sailor's garb. This guy is wearing similar clothing to that, and it's all scorched and burnt, and he's bleeding, and there's something wrong with his blood.
Oh?
Yeah. Something weird about it.
Can't you make a medicine check to see if she
And
knows
he's
what it
running,
is?
and he's running, and you landed in front of him, right?
And suddenly bird.
And suddenly Bird is like, oh!
Sorry?
And he tries to talk. And he looks up at you. He's all scorched. And he says, "It's not the last one." And you see now, he's holding this huge crimson ruby.
Like,
It's not the last
Familiar?
one. Somewhat familiar.
okay.
Yeah. This huge ruby. And he's like, "It's not the last one. But don't seek the treasure."
Okay?
And then he falls
Fair
into
enough.
ashes.
Do not seek the treasure. I
Dang
saw
it,
that
he was gonna
movie.
cure wounds him.
Can you do a medicine check to see if he is a toad?
You
I
was
think
a
that would be more
toad.
perception.
He says it's not the last one. And then he burns into ashes. And the ruby
Akiri's
drops at your feet.
Akira is taking a good solid step back because nope.
When you cast Cure Wounds on the ashes, they do not respond, but blow away.
I was going to before he turned into ashes, but you know. Huh.
Well,
Kiri's gonna
okay. I
stand
thought
there.
you cast it again. It was when you
No.
we reach out to cast Cure Wounds on him, and he just turns into ashes.
So yeah, Kiri's gonna stand there looking horrified. Huh. That's a thing. And then she's gonna go find her friends and be like, so, something horrifying just happened. There's an airship that crashed, exploded, I don't know. It's on fire. And then this guy came running out holding this giant ruby, and then he was like really badly burned, and then he turned into a pile of ash, and I'm not dealing with this very well.
I think you're going to need to say that again, but slowly and make sense.
I'm just gonna come with me, and she's gonna
Alright.
lead everyone.
Yeah, okay.
With your natural 20, you can tell he came from Toreen. The direction of Toreen.
Oh, that's not good.
He came from the north.
I swear. If those stupid demons are back. Okay, let's go check this out.
You guys go over there. The sun is getting real low. And in the long shadows cast by the trees of this thick forest, you find almost all that remains is this large red ruby. There's a pile of ash.
Does it look like all these other giant things, giant gems that we've been finding?
A little bit. You want to take a closer look?
I'd love to.
Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
25.
It is etched with a name and symbol that are familiar to you.
Oh?
Yup. It is the name and coat of arms are inscribed into the top of this. I mean, it's a ruby like the size of a basketball.
Yeah.
House Halfarin.
Oh my god.
Elf's Far Inn?
I'll spell it.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Half Aaron, okay.
Well, it's Elvish script.
I mean, I know that we're near Toreen. Are we anywhere near where he lived last night? Or do I even know?
But you knew he was moving.
That's true. Well, this is awkward. I think I know who this belongs to. It's another one of the bards. I don't like him. And I wasn't aware that he was living in this area. So I guess we should keep it and return it if he's still alive.
It's said that this isn't the only one. Before he died, he said something real weird.
Wasn't
he
the
said that
only
this,
one?
Yeah, this isn't the only one, or something of that sort, and to not seek the treasure. I'm very confused, but there you go. You're
Well,
smart.
that-
Please make something of it.
Well, that doesn't really mean anything to me. Maybe he was saying that it wasn't the only escape vessel, but I don't know what treasure he's talking about.
As you're having this conversation, night has fallen.
Well, I don't want to make camp here anymore.
Well, we have to make it somewhere nearby. Can't press on through the night. That's usually only advisable when you're being chased by orcs.
That was one of my favorite things in this game. Do you guys wish to make camp?
I'll bow to the will of the group. I suppose it would be nice to see if we can dredge anything up from the wreckage. I'm not sure how much is.
I agree.
I
I mean,
mean,
I'd be fine, striking out half a mile. I just don't think we should, walk.
No, that
We
was
shouldn't
my.
continue our journey. Yeah.
I'm just in favor of sleeping next to as few deaths as possible.
no,
That's a good idea.
I agree. And I mean, Kiri did say that the person who burned in front of her said not to take any of the treasure. I mean, I know we may or may not want to listen to that, but I don't know. I'm kind of leery of taking stuff like, I don't know. That just freaks me out.
It's not part of a treasure. It belongs to somebody specific that I know.
Well, okay, sure. I can understand that.
I mean, it's not like we're pulling it out of a dragon's cave or something. Normally, don't seek the treasure doesn't mean don't go to this guy's house and steal all his stuff.
Okay. Well, if we want to look, let's look. And then, yeah, I agree. We probably don't want to camp near here.
You move some ways off and strike your camp there instead. It's been an eventful time. Do you guys wish to make a fire this evening? You're in the thick forest.
Yes.
Probably should.
That only
But
led to
it's
good things last time.
cold.
You make your fire, you heat your food, you warm yourselves, make your tents. Everyone roll a perception check if you are setting watches.
Oh my goodness.
What hour do you watch, or what hours do you watch Equitas? First watch, second watch?
I don't know. Okay. Let's say first. I took the later one last time, so let's say
Alright.
the first.
Who's on second watch?
And Kiri will take it.
Akiri, you wake up kind of automatic. You hear snoring. You poke out of your tent, and you see that Equitas has fallen asleep leaning against a tree.
gonna sigh, rub her eyes, go shake him awake,
What?
say,
Huh? I'm awake.
you know, your tent might be a lot more comfortable for this.
I mean, I am tired, but I appreciate you waking me up. But is my watch over?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a long few days.
I know. At least nothing bad happened.
I hope
Go
not.
actually sleep.
Okay. Be careful.
You too. Wait,
I'll be careful.
don't have any bad dreams.
Oh, I hope not. Thank you, Akiri.
Just gonna smile at him and go sit at the fire and take her.
Well, Akiri, you're pretty distracted as well. But you don't
Yep.
fall asleep. You had that weird kind of, you kind of overslept and now you're sleepy, but you managed to stay awake through your watch.
She's probably thinking about Madame Lumiere and that was weird.
That was a lot. Distracting.
Gee, the crazy old lady who owns the curio shop is apparently part of some secret organization that you had no idea of. Like, sure, she taught your brother how to use magic, but still.
Fortunately, nothing really happens during the night. Everybody sleeps, fire burns low, and dawn comes to the forest here. You all awaken.
Well, there's no magic bacon bag this morning, but this will keep going.
We don't have any hours to waste.
Let's
You
go.
hoist your packs and set off once more into the wilderness, guiding yourselves northwest, I presume.
Yep.
All right. You trek through the thick forest.
I wonder if, since we forgot to say anything, if I could have cast that spell I meant to.
All right, this time I'll let you.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, it's a long journey at this point, so
Sure.
it's lots of stuff to do. I'll update the calendar. It's the 18th of Viexi. You travel on, and how do you guys... Somebody jump up, and how do you help travel safely?
Okay, we're gonna do something similar like yesterday. Kiria's going to, she's going to kind of either scout ahead or like try to find the easiest path through the forest,
Okay.
as she can, or just like on their journey find the easiest path possible, the fastest, safest, just general best.
Okay, make a perception roll as she flies ahead of the party. That
At least
is a
I got those out-
fail.
At least I got those twos out of my system.
And so the party stumbles on the roadside shrine unawares, complete with roadside, yes, kind of standing stone unawares, complete with the corpse of a manticore nearby.
Oh, there we are.
Do we see the manticore? Because if so, that's the thing Akiri blasted into oblivion for the first time.
Well, unfortunately, you guys are not doing great at finding the best path through the woods. You're kind of not wandering exactly, but you're not getting along very quickly or safely through the thick forest. You still get 1 temp HP, Akiri. Who's gonna jump in next?
I'll jump in and try to use survival, I guess, to sort of, now that we have a landmark that we recognize, get us back on track.
I was gonna say sing a jaunty tune, but that works too.
Survival
I
it is.
can't do that every time. And can I blow inspiration on this?
Totally. Nice.
That's a 22.
That is a resounding success. Bella says, well, it's unfortunate that Akiri missed that in the thick canopy of trees, but we can course correct in this manner and that manner, and using her intuitive sense of direction, she navigates your way through the trees. The thick woods begin to thin. The trees are more and more spaced out. The winter foliage gets thinner and thinner, and the ground gets rockier and rockier as the forest begins to transition into a desert. Who's going to jump in next? Oh, you get 1 temp HP, Bella.
Well, maybe since we've been through the desert before, Bref will put on his personal trainer hat and remind people, stay properly hydrated and make sure you carry your pack so the weight is evenly distributed, and don't push yourself too hard if you feel yourself getting lightheaded. And it's always okay to sit down and take a short break when you need to.
Nice. Are you making a play for athletics?
That is what I'm hoping for, yes.
This is a more cerebral kind of athletics, isn't it? Well, roll athletics, but instead of your strength, I'll let you add any mental stat.
So how about I roll my wisdom
That's good.
and then add 3.
Perfect.
That'll, yeah. Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20! Which would normally give you guys 2 check marks. We only have room for 1. Dang, dude. Roll a d57.
It was a 17.
Okay. Well, Bref, as you are talking about hydration and all of this good trainer stuff, you suddenly remember someone mentioned a watering hole. Only it wasn't a watering hole, it was a brewery or a still. Last time you were walking this way,
Oh, yeah. Like the mystery still.
and you're not sure, but you're pretty sure the rest of the party thought you were crazy for wanting to go into the deadly magic zone, the magical fallout zone, the fall of Avamorn to the north. But isn't that the direction that the still was?
That's right.
Yeah. So, you keep a weather eye out, and one time when you're taking one of your scheduled rests, you notice it. A shack with a telltale large metal barrel outside and a pipe leading to it. And then you smell it on the air because you're taking your scheduled rest for your, for your legs. That's alcohol over there. There's alcohol in the Nar Hills. Out here in the middle of the desert.
Have any of my companions seen it?
Nope. You only noticed it because you stopped to rest at its particular spot.
Everyone, I'll be right back. I have to go drain the little breath.
You make your way to the well-hidden shack. And look inside. There's only one thing in there. Well, there's one very obvious thing. Which is a skeleton. Leaning back on a stool with its feet up like this. And this mug still lifted to its bare white teeth. It has this wide-brimmed hat pulled low over its skull. And there's and with the mug, still in its mouth, off to, through one wall of the shack, the pipe of the still leads into a large jug, which still has liquid in it, and from which the smell is wafting.
So I see the skeleton wearing the hat, holding the mug.
Mm-hmm.
And the mug is still in their hands.
Yep.
Interesting. I am going to... Gosh, I don't have time to bury them. So is this the thing with the liquid in it, does it look transportable?
It does, and there's a cork next to it, and 3 X's written on the side.
Well, I'm going to put the cork in it. Put a cork in it! And bring back whatever it is to the group.
Guys, Bref said he had to drain Little Bref, and the sun is getting low, so he casts a long shadow as he comes back, carrying a jug.
Bref, what's in that jug?
I don't know.
You know,
That's
when
not
they
the
say
answer
that
I was
you're
looking for, Bref.
supposed to drink your own urine in the desert. That's not usually what they're referring to.
Oh, no, this came from
Yeah,
the
no, we have plenty of water, bruh.
with the skeleton in it.
What?
A skeleton?
The shack with the skeleton in it, over there.
Oh, man.
Bref, I swear, if you get cursed again, we need
So-
to put a leash on you.
I'm gonna uncork it and say, give it a smell. What do you think it smells like?
Oh man, as soon as he pulls that cork out, you can all smell this just like raw alcohol smell.
You're saying about 3 steps back. All
Breath.
at once, it's like one big jump.
That's so wow, Breath. That's some strong stuff you got there.
I know, right?
Have you drunk any of this?
No.
Yeah.
We should
Can I-
probably keep it that way.
I thought maybe we could keep it till after we rescue my brother, and then we can use it to celebrate.
Fantastic idea. We can use it to celebrate, or we can use it to sterilize medical instruments.
At the same time.
Ooh, that's
Kill
Right.
rodents or something. Yeah. Yes, I definitely think that we ought to, put it away. Talk about it later.
Well, you guys don't have too much farther to go. You walk for another hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it is time to make a camp here in the desert. You set up camp. Are you lighting a fire this evening?
Yes, it'll certainly get
Okay.
very cold in the desert.
Everyone roll perception, please.
I could only see the one on my screen, and I got real scared there for a second.
Who's on second watch?
Guess I'll take it. Nothing bad has happened to me yet.
Yeah, we'll say
Okay.
Akiri took first.
Akiri, I don't see your roll, and I don't see Mavra's roll.
Yeah, I don't see Mavra's.
Yeah,
but
I
mine-
only
was a
see
16.
three out of 5 rolls.
Yeah, Mavra's 16. Again, she's consistent.
Mine was 15.
Oh,
And
there we
I
go.
also rolled a natural 1 for disadvantage.
Okay.
So I didn't have to, it scared me at first.
Bella, who do you wake up after you? The crickets are chirping out there in the desert. Who do you wake up next?
Well, I guess I'll wake up Mavra. Nothing bad has happened to her yet either.
Very true.
Mavra, what was your roll? A 16?
Yes.
You hear this weird noise during your watch. It's like something being dragged through the sand out in, or the small rocks out in the desert.
I'm gonna try to listen a little closer to see where it's coming from.
Okay, you got a 16. You can tell it's coming from the southeast.
Do I see anything?
It's too far out in the darkness.
Even with my dark vision?
It's fairly loud, though. You have 60-foot dark vision, which is far in a dungeon, not that far in the night in the desert when there's barely more than a half a moon.
I'm gonna just keep an eye out in that direction and listen to where it might go. I don't want to go out farther.
Okay. You keep an eye out. Roll another perception roll for me in the second half of your watch. You keep hearing that sound. Okay.
13.
You're keeping your eyes and ears peeled. The sound, you periodically hear it, and then it just fades away. And toward the very end of your watch, you hear what sounds like distant footfalls. Fading off into the dark.
Do they sound like louder than normal footprints? Footfalls?
What's your intelligence score?
$13.
They sounded like hoofbeats, but way louder.
I'll probably let the next person know about that.
Okay. Nothing else really occurs during the night. So, you wake up the next day and can continue your journey. The sun begins to warm up the desert. It got real cold that night.
I don't think we've discussed this, but which horror are we going to face? The undescribed magical former battlefield horror, or the possibility of running into our old friend Cheese Death?
Oh no! At this point, it's too late. We have to go through 11-13.
Cheese Death it is.
Yeah, we would be late if we swung north.
Okay.
Okay.
Max is like, oh yay, I get to get back at them for naming my big dragon Cheese Death.
Who's to say? How, pray tell, are you planning to travel through the desert and into the desolation of Chowderth?
I don't know if it's better or worse that her name sounds like Chowder.
The Clever.
Probably going back the way we came out initially.
Should we go slowly to cover our tracks, but run the risk of running into her more slowly?
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
know what the
thing.
consequence would be.
Do we have enough time to go slow?
Oh, I'm sure we don't. That's a good point.
How many days away are we, and how does that fit up with when we need to be there?
So we need to get to 9-12, which would be 1 day, 2 day, 3 days journey.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, it is pulling up the calendar.
I think it's
want
the
to confirm.
19th.
It is the 19th of VXE, a thought day.
All right, so we're doing pretty well. We should arrive there on the
The
evening of the
19th.
21st.
Okay. But we don't need to waste any time.
Well, I think that's ideal because I'm not sure, what time the bandit mood is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Or exactly where. I mean, entering the
True.
general area doesn't mean that we're going to find it.
I have been assuming that you guys have been traveling at a normal pace, unless told otherwise.
Yes.
Yes.
So we should probably continue on at a normal pace then.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dragon be damned.
I mean, if we weren't going through, yeah, normal pace.
Okay. How do you go about traveling safely through the desert and into the desolation of Chowderth the Clever?
I would like to check for what I heard, see if I see any signs of it.
Cool. Are you going to go and try tracking it down and see any signs of it, or are you just going to keep an eye out as you're traveling? Are you going for an investigation or a perception?
Maybe perception. I mean, I don't want to go away from everyone and try to actually find it. I just want to see if it was close enough to see anything and if it might be close to us now.
So a perception?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
21.
Ooh. The desert is no easy place to traverse, but it is a good place to keep a weather eye out. And you do. You actually do see a spot where it looks like something rolled around in the dust, gave itself a dust bath. And there are these huge hoof prints on the ground that you guys walk by.
Can I point it out to others and see if they can, if anyone knows what it is, or what it could be?
Sure. You all are made aware of this.
Those are big hooves!
I can't think of anything.
Nothing that I really want to know much more about.
Ooh, question. Are they horse hooves or deer hooves? Or did I just not hear that?
Or cow hooves.
Basically, are they horse hooves or cloven hooves? Because cows also have cloven hooves.
The hooves are the hoof prints. Well, you would have to go take a closer look to find out more information. Mavra is just spotting this in the distance. To get a better look, you're going to have to take some time to go to the side, which you can do. So make an investigation check. It's not too far out of your way.
Who are you asking to make one?
You, Akiri. You asked.
$12 question mark?
Well, the giant hoof prints are cloven. But it does look like a giant dust bath was had.
Giga cow.
It's a giant chinchilla.
What?
Chinchillas can't get wet because they're like, if they get wet, they're fur molds.
But they don't
so
have hooves.
I know, it's a giant chinchilla with hooves. That's the only thing. That's the only problem with my
I don't know what's more creepy, that it has hooves or that it's giant. All right. Well, if you guys want to do you want to do more investigating, or do you want to move on?
I just want to make sure it's not dangerous.
Well,
Can we
there's
do a
no
nature
other
check?
sign of it. You can?
Looks like we were just two cows passing in the night. I think we're okay to move on.
That's just a 5.
Seems unnatural, Bella. Nothing you've seen before, certainly. You make good time over the desert, and the normal rocky desert eventually begins to give way with its, desert plants and its winter growth and, actual animals able to drink the frost, begins to give way to an ashy, smoky, blasted wasteland. Dark, craggy rocks rise up about you as you begin to leave the normal desert behind and enter the desolation. Burned out trees, charcoal lying in piles, making clinking sounds as you walk across them and coating your legs in their black residue. The air is full of this acrid smoke, this choking fumes that erupt from the earth, blasting out volcanic gases that make breathing difficult. Your nostrils are burning. And you
I
begin...
remember this. It's not a good feeling.
Who is going to jump in next?
Okay. I would like to. I'm going to. I don't know. Since that I'm going to try to. Is there a way? Okay. My first thought was that I would just try to do what I've done before and kind of try to keep spirits up by just giving a pep talk about we're almost there. Look, we're coming through a place. This is where our first adventure was. This is what started us off on everything. This should, I know it's scary around here, but we're familiar with this. We've made it through here before. You do it again. We're on our way to help Bref's friend, and I don't know. I'm not really good right now at giving a good speech, but I imagine Equitus would be better at it than I am right now.
Well, he says all those things. He has a certain natural magnetism that only a fictional character can have. But his awkward words can add up to a lot. The problem is... Are you guys hearing this audio?
Mm-hmm. I can.
Yeah, that's a little distracting.
Wait, maybe I don't. I thought you were asking if I heard you.
No, are you hearing the sound of distant dragon activity?
Oh, yes. Okay.
You don't see the beast. You don't see her. But you hear sounds like wing beats. Or are they volcanic gases bubbling up from the depths below? The land itself warped by the presence of a dragon. Equitas, in order to keep spirits up, that is going to be quite a difficult challenge. So I think that there is a definite connection between the real world speech and the in-game speech and how it feels.
Great.
So go ahead and make your roll.
Would that be... What would it be? Maybe be persuasion?
It's your call. You were the one who advocated for it. I assumed
Yeah.
that you were
Okay.
going for a charisma check, but I would probably let you persuade people to be in a good mood.
Well, honestly, either one. But yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay.
That does not go well. You still get 1 temp HP, though. Equitas gives a speech, but every time there's like this sound that sounds like a dragon somewhere out there, he kind of loses his train of thought, and you all don't feel any better by the time he's finished speaking, unfortunately. Sorry.
You tried, bud.
You are?
And in summation, we're all gonna die.
Only if she finds us, though. Alright,
Yeah. Oh, did you have something, Akiri?
I had a thought. Unless you have a better
Go
one.
for it. If yours doesn't pan out, I'll do mine.
Sounds good. Kiri is going to again see if she can help everyone by like finding the best route through this. The I guess the quietest, sneakiest way to avoid the dragon noticing them.
So she's gonna use stealth?
Either stealth or survival or perception, something that
I'm
she
not
can
sure
use.
how it's survival. It sounds like you're advocating for stealth. You guys have to sell me on the concept.
Okay, she's trying to like help
Come with
everyone
something
like
cool.
to like help move everyone through the area safely, I guess. And
There are
without
a lot of terrain dangers here,
right.
so that makes sense. So she's like, watch out for that. That's just a crust over a drop possibly into lava. Look over there.
Right.
That's a rock slide. There's a bunch of charcoal you could fall into.
Right. That kind of thing. Just like, hey guys, just yeah, she's helping them through the terrain. Guiding,
right.
help guide.
Absolutely. Guide is the perfect verb. Go ahead and make a survival roll.
$13.
You guys get pretty far, but as the terrain gets more and more difficult, Akiri slips and falls, plunges neck deep into a pit full of bits of burned wood, just charcoal. And she comes out, she's black in the stuff.
She looks like Shadir.
Unfortunately,
Well, dang.
you guys, it does not go well. Sparks fly through the air and burn your skin. It's dry. You find yourselves thirsty, and the air is just stinks. The air is full of chemicals and gases that should have stayed deep under the earth, but are spewed out violently.
All right, Brev, let's see what you can do.
Right. This is not exactly my area of expertise, but I also don't think it's any of our areas of expertise. I'm thinking back to when we first left the mountain, when we first ran from this big shadowy dragon. And I'm going to try to remember what we did to avoid being spotted then. I'm going to try and remind the group of how to sneak past this mighty beast.
So you had help from the goblin tribe back then.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Wisely or not, angling for a stealth roll.
Got it. Well, since you're calling out that specific circumstance, you're trying to find the pathways and tunnels that the goblins showed you. Did he actually mention the goblins, or did I apply that?
You did. I did not mention the. I mentioned.
Well,
the way we found our way out when we were here before.
You're going to have a much lower DC than the others have been dealing with.
Hey, 15.
You're deep in the desolation. Night is beginning to come upon you. But the air is full of this dreadful orange light. As the smoke billows up all around, it's lit from below by the fires under the earth. It does seem as though the place itself is burning. And then, illuminated in a plume of flame, a dreadful flapping comes down out of the thick black clouds of ash and smoke. The tremendous scales rippling with the vast body beneath as the claws clench down into the burned rock, striking sparks. It's overhead. She is there. On the other side come many smaller figures, but still gigantic in the night. Bigger than you, certainly. Creatures enslaved by her, no doubt. They keep watch. The dreadful form of the dragon looms down over you.
This is a terrible idea, but Akiri. Never mind. I'm shutting my mouth. I'm stopping. I'm not saying anything. Never mind.
Maybe she's not talking about us.
She turns those burning eyes in your direction, Breath.
Definitely
I
is.
have come to treat with you the murderers of Gretarar, my mate.
Oh crap! He did die.
She does see us.
Hi.
I wish to know where she is.
Who?
Who is?
The one that slayed Gretarar the Tyrant.
We would greatly love to discuss the entire thing with you. I understand that you have a right to seek justice.
This
And-
wave of heat washes over you. Far more intense than the blasts of flame that have erupted from the ground that you've been walking on. This heat sets fire to your hair. It smokes and then catches on the tips.
Gonna jump right on that.
You jump on your hair.
You know, metaphorically.
You pat yourself down. Everyone takes 1 point of damage automatically.
Lovely.
You think you could hide. You think you could return. You little bipeds crawling on my earth. You think you could ever be safe from me. I can see you.
Great, powerful Chowderth. We're not here to hide from you. We're not here to disturb you in any way. We're just passing through. If you want to know who killed Gretarar, we know where they are. Or we've seen them. We don't know where they are right now.
You know who they are.
I know from her scent she is a female and far stronger than you idiots.
That's fair. I'm
Yeah.
I
gonna go
think she's
ahead and
talking
make.
about me.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
You. Pah. Her spit boils as it emerges and comes at you, Breath. What's your AC?
16.
All right. You are going to take some damage.
Some damage, you say?
23. From the boiling spit that now blasts you. Your skin charring in the heat. You are not worthy to have stolen from Gretarar. shoulder. You are pathetic.
I would like to jump in and make a persuasion check, please.
Go for it. She lets out a streamer of flame from her nostrils, flickering brighter than wood fire.
Okay. As I said, we are more than happy to talk to you. You have every right to seek out this person and do whatever you like to them. You're correct in saying that the person who struck, well, not just the final blow, but if I'm being honest, pretty much all of them, was a female and very powerful. However, we are ourselves seeking her as she has been captured by someone far more powerful, which means that we would probably not be able to do anything to him. But we can tell you everything we know about him, and I'm sure that someone as powerful as you would be able to get rid of him for us. And if you did, then you would be the one in possession of the person who you seek.
A sad offering from little sneaking thieves. You'll have to do better than that, thieves.
Well, I think that perhaps we could come to some kind of an arrangement. Nevertheless, I also think that once you hear what we have to say, you'll be very glad to know exactly who this person is that you need to find. Because we are not particularly intimidating, but I assure you that this person is.
You think you are safe.
Oh no,
You
clearly
think
not.
you can steal and cheat and lie and defy Chowderth the Clever. No, you cannot. You will pay. You will pay, and you will find for me the one who took Gretarar's life.
Yeah, we'll be happy to do that.
Offer me, sad, pathetic little bipeds. Offer me what treasures you have, and beg for your worthless lives.
So here's the thing,
To make sure I
Chowder.
heard the dragon correctly, it's asking for treasure.
Yeah.
Do we have a giant ruby? Did we
Shut your
grab
face,
that?
Al.
We do have a solid gold shield.
And an artifact red dress.
And a cool mirror that lets you watch fights at an arena.
And a blue bow +1.
And old Choco-Block.
Did we grab that giant ruby? don't
I
remember.
don't
Yes.
think
We
we did
couldn't.
because we were worried about seeking the treasure.
That's
Yeah.
right. I was thinking we should give it to her.
Well, you can't if you don't have it.
I know, but that would be funny.
Tell me of the one that killed Gretarar. Where? What are their plans?
They have been captured via magical means by a very powerful magic user by the name of Lu. However, you would probably know him better as a member of the
You
Netheros.
play with words.
No, this is the truth.
What of her?
She is a paladin by the name of Vale, formerly
Vale.
of Taurine, now
Vale.
captured.
That is not her family name.
Proudheart.
Ah! Proudheart! Where is Proudheart? Coddling her cowardly son. Ah, I see. She is finishing the jobs he failed at. Ah, at last I understand. Vale, Proudheart, did this. Thinking
Yep.
it would protect her son.
Maybe. That I don't know anything about.
What? Yes. You are not important enough for her to tell you of Zendrick Proudheart.
That's me. Just a big fat nobody not connected to anybody interesting.
Here are the conditions for you to leave this place alive. Yield unto me all your items of magical power and all your gold and gems, and I will only burn my mark upon you, and not char and eat your bones as toothpicks. Ah! Heat blasts you all again. You take 1 damage. You cannot resist it. And as you guys contemplate that, I think we'll call it there. Thanks for going a little bit late with me, guys.
Wow, though. So it went from a definite TPK to a probably not TPK. To a possibly not TPK, we'll call it that.
A lot to think about over the next week.
Yeah.
I expect some interesting conversations will happen in the Discord chat.
Yeah.
That
Probably an
was,
understatement.
whew. That was a bold move, guys. Bold move, I have to say. Whew. All right. Well. And yet, Chowderth didn't immediately attack.
No, I was impressed by that.
So there's that.
She seems reasonable. I just
So
wish
there's
we
that.
hadn't tried to. I just wish we hadn't been part of the group to kill her husband. Good grief.
In our defense, we didn't know that the husband was gonna die.
We probably no. He wasn't supposed to die.
Yeah, he was supposed to get pokeballed.
Well, Vale Proudheart got captured instead, and Zendrig is spelled with an X, by the way.
Wait, who's Zendrig? Did I miss that?
Vale's son.
Ah.
Alright, guys. Well, that was a really fun game. You traveled a great distance for the Wildlands. We went through 4 days of game time, which I think is a record for us.
Probably.
Well, except for when we had a week or two of downtime, I guess. But that
That's
doesn't
true.
count. Well done. You're not dead.
Surprisingly, no, not yet.
And until now, it was going really smoothly. You even got a lot of information. So, on that
Let's
note,
see if we can keep our heads.
with the form of the enormous red dragon, the adult red dragon, looming down over you, we're going to call it. So good night, and good luck, everybody.
Night, guys.
Good night.
May your dragons be blind, and your nights easy. See you again soon.